How's it going, everybody? It has definitely been a really long time, but welcome back to Information Island here on the Paradise YouTube channel, where we host our podcast every week. Be sure to check out the Paradise podcast as well. I know you guys are here to see some interesting information. That's why we're here on Information Island. And on this particular episode, I decided to go ahead and take apart that little guy sitting right over there, which was having an issue with its Wi-Fi card. So for this particular 3DS model that I have, the Wi-Fi card was no good. I had taken it apart previously off camera just to test to make sure that maybe the Wi-Fi card didn't get loose when I dropped it one day or something like that. And I put the Wi-Fi card back in and it still did not work. So what happens is you get a black error screen whenever your Wi-Fi is engaged, and your 3DS won't be able to search the internet, play games online, download any content or any games from the eShop. It won't even let you play whatever game you're currently playing because of this Wi-Fi error code. So you would have to restart the system, make sure your Wi-Fi was turned off just for you to be able to play offline successfully. So I've been having this issue with this 3DS for quite some time and just decided that enough is enough. I want to go back and play some of these older titles. I had been contemplating going back and downloading some of the red, blue, and yellow games that they have for Pokemon on the 3DS eShop, which is not available on the Switch. In order for me to be able to do that, I have to take apart this 3DS, replace the Wi-Fi card, and then make sure everything is in good and working order. This video, we're going to go ahead and see my process on taking this apart. Very, very, very simple and very easy process to do. If you've never taken apart a handheld system like this, it can be a little intimidating at first, but it is not the hardest thing to do as long as you follow the steps, which I will walk you guys through. It should be pretty quick, simple, and easy to accomplish. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at what I did to get this bad boy up and running the way that it's supposed to be with a brand new Wi-Fi card. Alrighty, now let's take a look at this 3DS model we have here. This is my personal black 3DS XL that my wife bought for me quite some time ago as a birthday present in order for me to play Pokemon X and Y. Big Pokemon fan, as you guys can see. So we're just taking a look at the system, making sure everything looks good. And then we're gonna go ahead and use the proper toolkit that I ordered from Amazon to be able to get this thing open. So using a combination of regular Phillips screws and tri-wing screwdrivers, you're going to be able to remove the screws from the back of the device. And we're going to go ahead and take off the cover that covers the battery area here. And I'm using one of these plastic, I don't know what the word would be for that, scraper? Maybe scraper. It has a ledge on it, so that way you'd be able to lift some of these components and plastic covers off of the device like I just did. Here is the replacement Wi-Fi card. It is a chip that will be going on the motherboard. So once we take off the back plate, we're going to remove the battery, and there are 5 additional screws that are going to be coming out. So I pointed to those. Let's go ahead and get those screws out of there. Now you see that we have these 2 rubber stoppers that are on the back of the device. This is that way if you set it down on a flat surface like a table or anything like that, it doesn't slide off that easily. The rubber grips will prevent it from sliding and slipping and will grip the surface that you put it onto. Now, these are a little hard to take off. As you can see, I was having a rough time doing it with the scraper, so I just kind of opted for removing it with my fingertips. I was more worried about damaging them completely and then I couldn't get them back in, but I was gentle enough where they came out no problem and I was able to put them back. underneath those rubber stoppers are 2 additional screws, and you're gonna need to go ahead and remove those screws too. Now that we got our screws out, we're going to be able to take off the back side of the console. You're going to want to go ahead and remove the SD card. I did not do that initially, and it did give me a hard time to take off the back plate, but the back plate is off. And the next thing we're going to do is disconnect the ribbon cables here at the top, which are for the L and R button of the system. So that comes completely off, and we're able to remove the Wi-Fi card, which is located right here. So we just disconnect it from the wire, make sure that we don't damage that wire, because then that's got to get replaced too. And then we're going to go ahead and remove the new Wi-Fi card from the packaging, take a look at it, connect it again, and put it in place. Make sure it's secured to the motherboard. And then we're gonna go ahead and reattach our ribbon cables for the L and the R button. Now that the ribbon cables have been reattached, we can go ahead and just complete all of the steps that we just completed in reverse order and re-screw all of those screws back into the device. Now be sure not to lose any of these screws. Be very careful with where you put them. Don't mix them up. Try not to confuse them. Some of these screws are different lengths and they belong in the specific area that Nintendo put them in. If you put the wrong screw in the wrong place, you may damage the board on the inside, or you may damage the plastic, and you may drill through something you don't intentionally want to drill through. So just be mindful of that. Be very careful. While you're reassembling your console, make sure you did everything the exact way you took it apart. Put it right back together in that order. And there you go. It is back in one solid piece. So now I'm going to go ahead, turn on the Wi-Fi using the Wi-Fi switch there. And we're going to test out the new Wi-Fi card and make sure that it is actually connecting to the internet the way that we need it to be. So let's go ahead and run that Wi-Fi test. So as you can see, the connection is successful. That means that the Wi-Fi card is picking up signal, it is working, and this 3DS is practically good to go. So I'm just gonna go ahead and review some more settings, make sure that everything is in working order the way that it should be. And then I guess the verdict is in, and we have fully resurrected this 3DS XL and made sure that it has proper connectivity and it is working properly. So what did you guys think? Not a difficult project to do. It's a very simple fix. This is a lot easier than maybe fixing a screen that might be messed up. That would be a lot more difficult to do, and there's a lot more components that come into play and moving parts that need to be removed carefully to replace a screen or something of that caliber. But to replace something as simple as your 3DS's Wi-Fi card, not a difficult task at all. I have lots of fun taking apart some of these devices and seeing how they work and seeing how easy it is to solve some of these issues myself without having to pay a third party to fix the console, send it back to Nintendo and wait for them to get to it, or just buy a completely different device, which is not always cost effective. Thing like that Wi-Fi card must have cost me anywhere from $15 to $20 on eBay with free shipping. So things like that are easy to come by and very easy to fix. I do plan on doing other types of these little tech demos, these little tech deep dives. I do plan on changing the shells to some of the controllers that I have in the house. I'm thinking about an Xbox shell swap, Switch Pro controller shell swap, a couple of things in that realm. And let me know down in the comments below if you guys are interested in any of that stuff, or if you want to see me tear something else down and fix something else. If you have a piece of tech that might need fixing and it may not be the most complicated job, I might be willing to go ahead and fix it for you. Just reach out, let us know. You got an old PS4, an old PS3, or an old Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color cartridges that the batteries are dead. I plan on doing a video on those too. There's so many different projects that we can work on, and I'd love to show it to you guys. So thank you for stopping by. Happy to have you guys here at Information Island once again. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you like the videos. Make sure you share them with friends and family that might be interested in what it is that myself, Macky, and crew have to talk about. And don't forget to check out our podcast, which is on this YouTube channel and will be posted every week. So stick around, and I'll catch you guys on the next Information Island video. I'm out.